Thanks, Claude. Yeah, no, that's exactly right. This is our gallery, and we love to have events here. You've heard me say before, this should be seen as the living room for the community. So whether it's the Rotunda or this up here, if you have organizations where you think this would be an appropriate setting, let us know, and if we can work it out, we'll work it out, and I'm happy to do so. I did also want to say, you talked about this being filmed, Metro TV. We've been filming these now for the last 18 months or so you're a star on Channel 25 when you're here, and it's amazing how many self-professed geeks there are that watch Channel 25 and see all the news about what's happening in the city. So thank you, Channel 25, for being here. I also want to recognize three newbies to the city that are going to be here helping us out, and that is tomorrow we're going to be announcing our project with Code for America and the Arnold Foundation. You know, we compete as a city on a lot of different levels, and we like to do that so we can get the light shown on Louisville when we do well and win national competitions. One of these is Code for America, and Code for America has been described as a Peace Corps for geeks, where technologists volunteer a year of their time to help solve big civic challenges around the country. And a few cities are awarded the Code for America Fellows every year. So our Code for America Fellows are here. They arrived on ground over the weekend. So if you all would stand up so we could give you some love, we'd appreciate it. Do you have the name on the back of the jacket or just the front? Okay, Code for America on the back, and then on the front, they're calling themselves Team Bourbon. So I thought that was pretty impressive. Well done. All right, just a couple things. You know, I've quit trying to say Pecha Kucha. You know, it's just too hard. You know, so I just call it Pecha Kucha. Okay, and what I love about these, first off, when the presenters come up here, you know, I think it's a real show of like intellectual courage and emotional integrity to come up here, because we've seen so many dreams expressed up here, and we've seen so many people, you know, surface ideas that they'd been thinking about for a long period of time, but when you put it on paper and you get up and talk in front of a bunch of people for you, that takes some guts. So it's this combination of fascinating ideas and seeing, you know, people kind of, their personalities blossom up here at the same time, which I think is a really cool combination of things. So I appreciate the speakers very much. We're trying to do that on a citywide level as well. Some of you all may have known we've started a mid and long-term visioning process for our city called Vision Louisville. The first phase was like a super megatrend global view of what's taking place around the world in terms of urban environments, metropolitan environments. And we'll be getting ready to start a real kind of intimate ground-up process here in the community in the next 2 to 3 months, where we'll be having 100+ or so community forums wanting to hear from our citizens, what are your dreams for the future, specifically for the built environment? What's a global, healthy, sustainable, digital city look like 25 years from now, and how can we start planning for that today? Just like any great company would do that, we need to do that for our city as well. So when you hear about Vision Louisville, please attend those meetings and share your ideas with us. So much of, I believe, a responsibility for a city and leaders in the city, which you all are and our presenters are, is to inspire people by talking about aspirational ideas and projects, and for us to say, hey, we're not the biggest city in the world, but we can be the best. So here's what we want to do, and here's how we express who we are as a city, and we see human potential come alive. And that's a lot more fun than being negative anyway. So Vision Louisville is the process to create that, and we want to hear from you in that process. And now I'm just going to give a 2-minute commercial, and I'll walk away. How do we bring these visions to life? You know, especially in a city placemaking, quality of place type of initiative like Vision Louisville is, because this stuff costs money. And, you know, it costs hundreds of millions of dollars and billions of dollars when you lay out what a city needs. For instance, there's $250 million of shovel-ready projects in our park system right now. If we want to complete the Louisville Loop, we need to come up with $65 million. So there's an unlimited number of projects that we need to complete for the community. We need $80 million just to get our roads and our sidewalks up to code. I know that sounds kind of boring. That's the kind of stuff that I get excited about now. I never thought I'd get excited about infrastructure, but I do now. So when you hear us talking about a project called LIFT, Local Investments for Transformation, or some people call it a local option sales tax. We don't call it that much because that's L-O-S-T, lost, and that's not nearly as good as LIFT. But 37 states give their cities the ability to levy a local option sales tax for specific projects that have specific cost, that'll be paid for in a specific manner, and then the tax goes away. So, for instance, we're using Oklahoma City as our model. They identify through community advisory panels and elected officials the top 5 to 8 capital projects, assets that the city feels that they need. Everything from renovating schools to a new downtown revitalization plan, a new ballpark, whatever it might be. They put those items on the ballot, and then the citizens say, okay, it's $500 million. That's a penny sales tax. It's going to take 5 years to pay for these, and then the tax goes away. But the citizens have a choice to say, we get to decide what these capital projects are that we're going to invest in our community. And the reason why this is so important is that the general budget of cities right now is strained beyond belief. You know, when you read about the pension problems and the health care problems, that's what's eating away at our daily budget. So we don't have the money that we used to invest in capital projects in the community. So to bring our dreams alive, and when you go to other cities and you see these public projects being taken place, they're being paid for with a local option sales tax. Their citizens have decided they want to invest in their communities, they believe in their communities, and they're doing enough to do a penny sales tax. 37 states allow it. 88 of the 108 cities, over 200,000 population in the country, allow it as well. A 1 penny sales tax in Louisville would generate $90 million. That's a lot of money for Louisville. In New York or LA, you just get started by pulling a few permits. Here, it's some real money. So, for example, Waterfront Park cost about $105 million. So imagine a project of that scope going on in the community every year. It might be a public transportation project. It could be a public art project. It could be affordable housing. But it could really give us some tremendous fuel on a penny sales tax. And that penny sales tax doesn't apply to food or medicine. Why am I going on about this? Because by law, our cities in Kentucky, do not have this ability to levy, to ask their citizens on whether or not you want to invest in a local option sales tax. So we have to get our state constitution changed, which means 60% of the House and 60% of the Senate have to agree to put it on a statewide referendum. Then there's a statewide vote, and then if that passes, then local municipalities can go through this process of selecting projects and voting whether or not we want to invest in them. And so as you hear about Vision Louisville, the purpose of that is, yes, to help us dream and create the future for our city, but it's also going to create a menu of options for us to invest in as we build a great American and great international city. But paramount with that, obviously, is we need a funding mechanism. So I'm asking you to think about supporting the local investments for transformation, the local option. And if you do, I need you to call as many state House members and many state senators as you know and tell them that you support this. This is a fundamental economic development tool that we need to grow our city and continue all the wonderful momentum that we have going on right now in Louisville. If you disagree with me, please don't call your House or Senate member as well, okay? We've got a lot of great momentum on this because when we can explain it, people say the fundamental principle of democracy is people should be able to vote. So we should be able to vote on these local investments. You may vote against them, but nobody should deny us the opportunity to vote. So please consider supporting LIFT, the local option. Again, welcome to Metro Hall, your hall, and let's enjoy the show. Patrick?